The truth! You can't handle the truth!
The other day, I was talking about an object, and I was following across Kansas, Colorado, all the way to the west coast north of Los Angeles. And I had said that I didn't do the math right. And I finally found where I had done the math, or AI had done the math. And here's where I got the 33,600 miles per hour. If I was to travel 1,120 miles, which is approximately the distance that that object traveled in 2 minutes, how fast am I traveling? And it says right here directly, you are traveling at 33,600 miles per hour. And everybody, that is about the speed of these asteroids and meteors and all these other things that are coming into our atmosphere. Earth's traveling at. They tell us 33,000 miles an hour. Remember this, guys. And that number comes up in all kinds of different stuff. So if y'all just pay attention, you'll see it. But it says down here at the bottom, that is roughly 44 times the speed of sound. Supersonic speed is Mach 1. It's 767 miles per hour at sea level. In other words, insanely fast. Think hypersonic spacecraft or sci-fi territory, not anything on or near Earth roads or even most aircraft. So whatever that object was that they was tracking in Colorado, or what we was finding on ADBS, flight tracker, flight radar, that was how fast this guy was going, guys. 33,600 miles an hour. So anyway, there's the math for it. Y'all can double check it and everything like that if y'all want to. But guys, that's pretty damn fast. Another thing I want to bring up here, guys, I got a couple of articles here. We've been seeing a lot of new fires breaking out in cars, and automatically most people want to blame it on it being the electrical cars. But I did a check, and here's the numbers, guys. That hybrid vehicles are actually the ones leading the industry in vehicle fires. That's the dual complex fuel system. The gasoline engines come in at second with 1,500, and electric vehicles at about 25, which is the lowest lowest rate, but they're hot, very hot. Another thing I found out, guys, if you look right here where it says ICE, well, now internal combustion engines are now called ICE vehicles. Yes, they are called ICE vehicles. But here's the thing, that why these modern cars are different. The plastics and synthetics that's built into them. You got to remember that, guys, that every bit of these plastics and synthetics and everything is built off of petroleum-based products. And so it adds to the volatility, the combustible rate at these things are. Another thing, guys, is these high-pressure fuel systems in these new cars. Now, I don't know if you know this or anything like that about how strong the PSI was, but I got a chart down here that will tell you. Let me go on down here. The oil plus synthetic. The fuel pressure of older vehicles pre-1980s was around 3 to 5 PSI. This is more or less before they had injectors. And there's, all this stuff, and it's mostly metal. And the fuel tank was metal. Everything was metal and didn't have that much wiring. But where'd it go? I lost it. Anyway, the newer vehicles, they're supposed to be in here somewhere, but these newer cars, guys, have a fuel pressure of 2,000 to 3,000 PSI. The tanks are made out of plastic. It has extensive wiring, and it also has memory batteries, which is lithium-ion batteries inside on the computer and several other components that upon an impact, all this stuff comes better. Here it is. The fuel pressure now in modern vehicles is 2,000 PSI, has a lot of plastics and other materials in there that are very volatile, and it has miles of high amplitude wiring. And it has also a fuel cutoff switch, which doesn't work all the time. So there's that, guys. These things are geared up to burst into flames upon impact. Y'all remember the PNTOS, right? So this is another one right here, guys, that maybe somebody needs to talk to somebody that does class action lawsuits and address this situation. And another major reason what they're talking about, I got into a conversation about self-igniting cars, is that there were several of them that had these Hyundai, Kia, Ford, and a few others that had a ABS computer on board that would get wet, cause a condensation inside of a garage or whatever, and that module would be connected to the battery, and then it would short out and cause electrical fire inside your garage. So that was one of the causes, the reasons why they had that big recall on this stuff and everything like that, guys. But also the PSI system, the electric fuel system at 2,000, 3,000 plus PSI is basically a bomb waiting to go out off. The fuel pressure system, the fuel that comes out of the injectors, are a very fine mist. Like if you took a spray bottle and sprayed gas into the air and lit it, that's exactly kind of what it's doing. So, talk about this, guys. There's some important facts. Our cars are burning, blowing up in front of us while we're driving and stuff. And it is because of this high pressure fuel system, even though they don't want to talk about it. Also, guys, while this is on this PSA, unplug your rechargeable devices at night when you're not aware around them to watch them charge. They are reaching, because the power surge is going on in our electrical system, these safe systems, the overcharge protection systems, are failing and allowing these batteries, these lithium ion batteries, to start catching fire. It busts through their safety protocols, and then there you go. Your house is on fire, and you lost everything. So spread the word, guys. Unplug your lithium ion rechargeable devices when you're not watching them, aware of what's going on with them, because the fluctuations in energy lines is causing these things to start bursting into flames. One other thing I want to bring up here, guys, I did some more stuff here and everything like that. We've heard about the fentanyl crisis, guys, and I want to point out something right here. I did a little check and everything. The most affected countries in the world by the fentanyl is Canada, Mexico, Europe, Estonia, United Kingdom, Brazil, Latin America, and the United States. And if you notice here on this article, guys, I pointed out the ones that is in the Americas, the continent of America, and they're the ones that's the most affected by this fentanyl crisis. Latin America, Brazil, Mexico, Canada, and the United States. It's not a problem as bad or a big problem in Europe or Estonia or the UK, but it's a big, big problem in the Americas. So we kind of look at this and wonder, is this an attack on the Americas? I got to remind you right here that the Americas, from North America and the Northern Canadian, the Great White North, all the way down to Argentina, this continent is full of minerals and mineral rich, like almost any other place you can imagine. So, yeah, guys, we're saving ours for last. So that's kind of the way it's going. And yeah, they want our minerals. We want them too. So it's easier to go ahead and wipe out a population by making them drug-addled idiots, dependent on this, and then they're not worth anything to resist any kind of overthrow. One more thing here, guys, and this one's going to be about a little bit longer here. Let's see if I brought it down right here. As you know, I've been trying to prove that the religion doctrine that we've been taught and hammered down our throats forever is a lie. And it's been promoted by my estimate by one group of people about what the truth really is, and that's the Hebrews or the Israelites or the Jews. And I'm getting ready to blow your minds here a little bit, guys, with some stuff here. First off, we're going to start it. This is accidentally, I found this out accidentally, guys. I started looking into something, talk about the Dead Sea. So I found out the Dead Sea is just an inland lake, right? What it is, not really a sea, it's a lake, inland lake. But guess what? It's about 33% more salt than the regular ocean, which is about 3.2. So you got basically 3% salt in the ocean and 33% in the Dead Sea. They're brought in by different kinds of rivers and everything, but the whole area that brings this water into the Dead Sea is full of salts and other minerals, guys. And so they kind of go after this, getting salt out of it and some other minerals, trace minerals out of it and everything, like the gold and other stuff. But also, it's about 1,400 feet below sea level, which is kind of odd. It's a big depression. In the Dead Sea, Israel operates one of the places that's located at Sodom. Yeah, like Mount Sodom, right? So on the southwestern shore of the Dead Sea, near where they have territory control. So Mount Sodom kind of piqued my interest. And found out that the Mount Sodom is a dramatic mountain on the southwestern shore of the Dead Sea, composed entirely of salt. It is formed from ancient evaporate deposits, blah, 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 and all that stuff. And we got, now, here's a big question, guys. We heard about Mount Hermon where the fallen angels fell, and we heard about Sodom and Gomorrah. And we know that Israel borders this Mount Sodom. So how far away is Mount Hermon from Mount Sodom? Well, it's about 2,600 to 2,700 or 260 to 270 kilometers or 162 to 168 miles from each other. And right here's the geographic points right here. So guys, it's not too much for the imagine, since, we know everybody lies, that maybe Mount Hermon isn't the place where the fallen angels fell to. And since Mount Sodom is made of salt, and we know what God does to people he don't like, he turns them to salt. So you put two and two together like I did, and we think that Mount Sodom is where the fallen angels fell, and that's an area controlled by Israel. So we're getting to a point, guys. We're getting to a point. Right here's the geographic locations. Y'all can look them up on Google Earth, Google or Maps or whatever, Google it and stuff like that and find out about it. Here's the big kicker, guys. I asked a question about a connection to ancient civilizations of the Israelites. Yes, substantial archaeological evidence, archaeological, genetic, linguistics, and epigraphic evidence supports the scholarly consensus that the ancient Israelites, and by extension the Hebrews, largely emerged from within the indigenous Canaanite population of southern Lebanon, rather than as a distinct external group that conquered and displaced the Canaanites. Israelites are direct descendants of Cain, and we all know who Cain is. He's run out of the Garden of Eden. He was cursed by God, and his whole lineage from there on would be forever cursed. So Israel's going around saying they're the chosen ones. Well, they were chosen to be cursed by God. This view, often called the indigenous origins or the Canaanite continuity model, is held by leading archaeologists and biblical scholars such as Israel Finkelstein, William DeVar, Mark S. Smith, and so forth and so on. It contradicts with a literal reading of the biblical conquest narrative in Joshua, but aligns with the physical records. The Israelites were not sons of Cain in the sense of direct mythical descent from the biblical figure, but they were culturally, genetically, and linguistically Canaanite in origin. They are developing a distinct blah, blah, blah. But the truth is, guys, they are the descendants of Cain, the cursed descendants of Cain, the chosen to be cursed descendants of Cain. They are chosen, all right. They even got cell DNA that pulls us together and proves the fact that, yes, the Hebrews have lied about where they come from. The Israelites lied who their forefathers are. They are descendants of Cain, the outcast of Eden, the one that God cursed forever. They're not the chosen ones, the promised chosen ones of God, like they say they are. Well, that's about it right now, guys. I'm getting ready to go ahead. I'm getting with my publisher on this Gospel of George. And I'm going to see how we're going to go about doing this. But hopefully within another month or so, depending on how things go and everything, we'll have this out for publication, all right? So I hope y'all have a groovy day. And, as always, do something nice for somebody. It's the best thing to do. Speak kindly or don't speak at all. And just be on your best behavior because, that's what we were taught. Despite whatever your religious connotations or beliefs are, don't matter where that goes, but we was always taught, put our best foot forward. And if you can't say nothing nice, shut the fuck up. Y'all have a groovy day. Later, taters.
Attention passengers, we've now reached our destination. We hope you enjoyed the flight and have a nice day.